I'm so hungry right now. Thankfully, we're at Pike Place Market today and we're going to be going on a food tour. So we're going to take you along, show you everything we eat, as well as give you ratings and tell you what we think of the food. I don't want to talk too much because I'm starving, so let's go. All right, we are headed to our very first location. It's going to be Beecher's Handmade Cheese. It's right over there. They have really good mac and cheese. I have never tried their cheese, so it's going to be my first time doing that.
All right.
I was ready.
Cheese curds.
My personal favorite is Indio Chocolate.
Starting off strong. 9 out of 10.
So get help develop
Cheese crystals.
That's what really sets this apart from other similar cheeses. I'm going to try.
Okay, we just had two different kinds of cheeses. The first one was the flagship cheese. Delicious. Very smooth, not really sharp. First cheese was my favorite, 9 out of 10.
The cheese curd?
Yeah.
The fresh cheese curd, yeah.
Yeah.
Second one was like cheese crystal, is what you said.
Yeah, it was okay.
And then we're about to try the mac and cheese, which is their most famous, and it's Oprah's favorite, actually.
It is macaroni and cheese.
Thank you.
I'll grab one for you too.
Thank you.
Excuse me. I know it's called the world's best mac and cheese, but I genuinely think it is. There's like little spices in here. Also sell this at Costco.
Just very recently, right?
Let's have Akbar try it.
Out of 10?
9.8. Delicious. Rate it. Out of 10.
10 out of 10.
It is the world's best. We'll show you guys what's next. I'm not too sure, but we'll show you in a sec.
Okay guys, what is also really interesting is that we are about to try 9 more stops. So Beecher's Handmade Cheese was already a really strong start, with the bean curd being my favorite, 9 out of 10. And then their famous mac and cheese, which is now available in Costco nationwide, started right there. Obviously that was a solid 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Mari was right. There was like spices in there that made it like, I don't know, just
Not too cheesy.
not too cheesy. Like it's got a different taste to it, makes
Yeah.
it a little bit more unique as far as a mac and cheese go. But the cheese was really smooth and tastes
It was delicious.
really fresh. Yeah, delicious. So I'm excited for 9 more stops. I mean, I came here with an empty stomach, so
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. We're at the second stop, and I was just told by the chef that this bolita pink is the actual corn that we're having the tortilla, which is why it's purple. So I'm super excited to try it. I think it's ready, so we're about to go try.
So these tortillas are probably less than half an hour old. And our caramels from chocolate ice cream delight.
What are your thoughts, babe? Delicious. This is a newer shop. I believe it opened maybe, I would say, less than 10 years ago. It's really good.
Delicious. It's the tortilla they just made. They just said it's about half hour old. So, and it's purple.
I feel like we probably could guess your rating. Would you give it a 9 or 10 or 8?
10 out of 10.
It is really good, and the tortilla being fresh really does it. So far, from I would say the 2 things I believe we've tried, I've definitely liked Beecher's more, just because Maiz was good, but I'm not too big on meat, so I was a little careful. But the tortilla was amazing, super fresh. I would give the tacos, if they were vegetarian, probably like a 9 out of 10, but I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Not bad, but I couldn't enjoy it, so. Up next, I think we're gonna have lavender lattes, if I'm not mistaken, so stay tuned for that.
I'm trying the caramel chocolate. Pretty good. And then you pair it with some lavender coffee. Refreshing. Okay, next.
I believe
We're gonna
oysters?
head. No. Some salmon jerk. Salmon jerky is next on the stop. So
Smoked salmon.
smoked salmon. So here we go. What's next?
Smoked wild salmon. And I don't know if you guys know this, but wild caught salmon is 100 times better than farm-raised salmon, because farm-raised salmon, they dye it to make it have that like pinkish color, but wild caught salmon is usually really red. So if you have the option, always go with wild caught.
Hi everybody, welcome to Totem Smokehouse. We have been here in the market for about 48 years at this point. Break into them. We also have a whole selection of cans just right over here, but same deal with the cans, different species, different sizes, different flavors. We have smoked albacore tuna in a can, which is one of our 2 non-salmon products. We also do salmon candy in a can, where salt is typically the main preservative of smoked salmon, but brown sugar does the same exact thing. It's been done for hundreds of years around here.
Okay, guys, we just had the salmon jerky. I thought it was okay. That was probably my least favorite of them all so far. I was the only vendor, though, or food stall that sells all things salmon. So they had like salmon, candy, very interesting stuff, but not my cup of tea personally. Yeah, 6 out of 10, I think.
Yeah.
Now we're headed to the next spot. I have no idea what it is. Kind of moving so fast.
I know.
So I hope you guys can see, you know, the energy that Pike Place Market does have, and the different variations of food that they offer.
$60 per ounce. It's about 8. So each thing is about a half an ounce. It's characteristic of the black truffle from Europe. They do
What does it
get
smell
black
like?
truffles in America, in our neck of the woods, but our
Smells like
trees
dirt.
are totally different than the ones
And, you know,
that are
other
here. So these are another
things.
about that. So that they of it to get the flavor. It's not going to disappear into your
It hits right away.
shaking more and shaking more and shaking more, and then you have
Taste the
the
truffle for sure.
richness of the truffle and the butter. And it's just starting to see some mac and cheese with this pasta base and sauce.
What is it? Truffle cream?
Yeah, it tastes like butter. I think there is butter.
Just letting it rest. But that
Delicious. Let's get your reaction.
There's a hardest to find. It's a short season. So typically season is right about Thanksgiving, and it pretty much hard ends at New Year. And you have like your New Year's season. And there are the many syllables of things that also have numbers because they're escaped from the chemistry lab. Concoctions made on this fake stuff. It's not these things. It's I look for things that are made of food. And I taste them. That's how I
We had the white truffle earlier. This is the black truffle.
tasting panel to ensure of the quality. Basically, if you can afford it, you can sell your stuff at the fancy food shop. So come in and be careful. So I actually have to kind of like, ooh.
This one's even better, in my opinion.
Out of everything we tried in this little booth, I would say the white truffle cream was my favorite, and then Akbar's was the black truffle cream. I think the white was just a little bit smoother, which is what I really enjoyed, but really good. I would rate the white one like a solid 8.7 out of 10.
But black one.
8 out of 10. It was still up there, but not as high as the white one. First thing we're gonna try is some clam chowder from Pike Place Chowder. And then pizza from the shop right behind me. I believe it's called Pizza and Pasta Bar. And then we're gonna have something, I'm not sure what. I believe it's a salmon dish.
Coconut lime.
Thank you. I believe this is a vegetarian one or vegan. On a cold, rainy day, this is exactly what I would want.
They want an invitation not to come back the following year, so somebody else could have a chance to win. Unfortunately, that did end up being the final year of the competition. One of the organizers passed away during, in addition to the New England Pike Chowder.
What do we have here?
Oh, pizza review here. One bite for the rolls. A very fresh, light pizza. You can tell when the pizza margherita has like fresh tomato, fresh cheese, fresh bread even too. Tasted everything here. This is up there for me too. This might be a 10 out of 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty high.
So people ask me all the time what my favorite spot
It was like, I got 3 more slices. Who's hungry? Look at this droop here.
It is very fresh, I'll say that.
It's also the variety of onion that we have to thank the existence of the market, because in 1907, the Walla Walla onion is the variety that those greedy middlemen raised in price to $1 a pound. You like how I tied that all back together? I'm going to return this tray really quickly. When I come back, we are heading on to Bonnie B's from Seattle.
Guess we have more stops. This is a salmon. I mean, there's not much left, but a salmon dip with Little Mama's hot peppers, I think. That's what they're called. It's not fishy at all. You more so taste the peppers. I'm not really into dips, but I would give this like a solid 8.1 out of 10. Just because it has like a nice little kick to it at the end and it's not fishy. So I love it.
Alright, we got a little dip action here. Salmon dip to be exact. A little taste of Washington salmon. Here we go, cheers. I was supposed to have the... Oh, thank you, babe. I accidentally ate the whole cracker. But, it's pretty solid. And now we gotta go. So...
See you later. At the next
Come back.
You should have seen it. I had this tray ready to come out here. I was sitting right here because I thought y'all were coming. And then I realized this giant sample. Fat samples. People would stop. They'd be like,
See the middle?
I'm like, I have pickles or samples.
Go like this?
No, I'm not. But yeah, so we make all the pickled stuff right here in this lagoon. Originally it was like 164 square feet, but we just added hot dog equipment to half of that. So we now make everything out of 82 feet. So. But yeah, it's just like cool community. We support about 9 different local farms in Washington State.
This is up there. 9.99. It works. That is so good.
Okay, this is Bonnie's version of a Seattle dog. What's interesting about Seattle dog is that they put cream cheese here. And he's put his Bonnie B's which I also have gotten before in a farmer's market. So here's a first bite.
tier of our
Delicious. It does work.
tier 2 of the most like Seattle developments had.
You wouldn't think of a cream cheese going on a hot dog, but with the pepper, I don't know, it works.
It's delicious.
9.5 out of 10.
It's definitely a
You guys, that completes all 10 food dishes that we were supposed to try today at the food market. They were all mostly very delicious. I don't think I had a single one that was I would say maybe the salmon dip was my least favorite, but there were so many notable foods that I tried, so that was in and of itself made the food tour like a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed being a tourist in my own city today and doing this food tour. I hope you guys enjoy the next food and travel adventure. I'll catch you in the next one.